Hello, and welcome all to episode 69 of the Spooky Horror Show podcast. I'm your host, Sean. I'm joined by Anthony. And as a reminder, this season's movies list was chosen solely based on the box art. We're going to be judging whether the film is as good or bad as the box art, as well as whether or not we even like the film. Today, we're going to be talking about 2019's Witches in the Woods.
Witches in the Woods.
But before all that, remember, if you'd like to support us on YouTube, you can like, subscribe, leave a comment. All of that helps us with the algorithm and engagement. You can also follow us and rate us on any and all podcast services, which also helps with visibility and charting. Links, as always, are in the description below. Now, with that out of the way, Anthony, how has your week been?
It's been boring, honestly. Yeah, there's nothing that's really happened. Nothing of incitement. Work and home.
You haven't pre-ordered a product in July, and it was supposed to be delivered.
Finally came in.
It was supposed to be delivered to like a month later because it was a pre-order, and then months later it wasn't delivered, and then you've had to harass them every month. Hey, where is it? Oh, we're getting caught up. It'll be next week. Awesome. Just send me the shipping code and we'll be good. And then they never do it, and it's every month the same thing over and over again.
So what was it though? Was it they over reserved them and they ran out or something?
No, a bunch of the parts, because they're assembled here, were stuck in customs for a while. Which, because it's all computer parts and shit. That's completely understandable. Like, I'm not gonna fucking bitch about that. But then when it comes to your website is still saying ships in 24 hours, and it's like, nah, bitch, it ain't doing it.
It doesn't do that.
Middle of December, I'm like, hey, what's the deal? You guys said you were going to ship it 2 weeks ago, and I still haven't gotten anything. And they apologized. They were like, we'll send you out a replacement unit. And I'm like, that's awesome that you're going to send me a replacement. Well, it's awesome that you're going to send me a replacement unit for a unit that I still haven't even received yet. Like, you still haven't shipped it yet, but I'm going to get a replacement.
So how are you shipping this one? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. A week goes by, still nothing. So now in January, I'm like, guys, what the fuck is going on? And they're like, don't worry, it's shipping today. And then I got the fucking code for it.
Right. Oh, okay. Dude, that's terrible.
Now here is where my mail Karen came out, because what's it called? It shipped on the 15th of January from Illinois, right?
All right.
With 2 to 5 business day shipping. It had a scheduled delivery date of the 18th. Well, the 18th comes around. They picked it up on the 15th. It left. It went into whatever their bullshit is to put it on a truck to go somewhere.
The void.
The 18th, it doesn't get delivered. So I contact USPS on the 19th. And I'm like, hey, where is this package? Like, it's completely gone from the tracking. Like, I don't know where this thing is. It's coming from Illinois to Texas. Like, it shouldn't take this long.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, unfortunately, because of the wildfires and the snow on the East Coast, we're having, things are taking a little bit longer.
Supply issues.
And I'm like, what? But my product isn't in California or the East Coast. It's in a corridor where there's none of that shit going on.
Yeah.
2 days later, I get an update. It's sitting in a San Jose, California, like UPS sorting facility.
Oh
Instead of going south, they sent it to the wildfire. So I call them like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you sent it to the completely wrong place. We're already a week past when it was supposed to be delivered. Yeah. They're like, we apologize. It'll be delivered by tomorrow. I was like, look, if you can't manage to get it from Illinois to Austin in 8 days, there's no possible fucking way you are getting it from California to Texas. Like, that's not happening. It's like, don't worry. If it's not delivered tomorrow, call us the next day. On the next day, it's in San Francisco. What? They sent it north. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I called again.
One person that has the worst fucking shit with packages.
I fucking know, man.
I order from fucking overseas all the time. I get my packages in. They might look like they went through hell, but they come in, they're usually early. You can't get shit within the same fucking country to come to you.
No, I've ordered stuff from Temu and gotten it within a week. So
me too. I use AliExpress.
So it's just
it's
ridiculous. But it finally came today. It's the MIG Flash Dumper. It's basically, you can take your Nintendo Switch cartridges and copy the file on the cartridge onto your computer, so you can play it in emulators and stuff. Ready to get into this?
Yeah.
I don't think there's
It's
a
really
a
not
lot.
a bad. It's not a bad film.
No. Production facts for Witches in the Woods. Directed by Jordan Baker and written by Christopher Borelli and David LaFontaine. The film stars Hannah. Oh fuck. The film stars Hannah Kasulka.
That's a name.
Kasulka. Yeah, we'll go Hannah Kasulka. Best known for her role on the Exorcist TV show, Craig Arnold, Sasha Clements, Corbin Bleu of High School Musical fame, and Umberly Gonzalez, most recently from the series Ginny in Georgia, but I know her as Kay from, she's the main character in the recent Star Wars video game, Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh!
So,
well, that's cool.
Anthony, what are your thoughts on the box art for Witches in the Woods?
Honestly,
did you even like
watching it? Yes, I did actually. I actually did like it, and the box art was kind of cool. And the draw, it's got a draw to it.
I think it's probably one of the coolest box arts we've seen.
It is actually, and then on top of that, it's more accurate because honestly, the box art kind of is in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I like the film. I like a lot of the actors in it. Box art, like I said, box art looked really cool. We've seen a lot of shit this year. Unfortunately, we've seen like way too much shit. This is actually
one of the better ones, yeah.
And we've seen a lot of shit that also had really good box art. So it's like then we see this box art and we're like, oh fuck, is this gonna be another piece of shit? I really hope this isn't gonna be another piece of shit. And thankfully, it wasn't a piece of shit.
It wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly think it was decent. It was decent.
Yeah. Could have been better.
A lot better than a lot of the shit that we've watched.
Could have been a lot worse. It could have. God, honestly, I was going through fixing some titling and thumbnails and stuff, and I was like, I just need to do this season. And then I looked and I was like, I don't remember what films we did this season. It hasn't been that long, but I don't really remember. So I started going through it. It's like this season, I think we started off with like the Hermits.
The Hermits.
It was like that One More Time for the Camera, and then the Hermits. That was all this season.
Yeah,
that's insane. It feel like I think we've done like,
it feels forever ago.
Yeah, because like we did way more movies this season than last.
Oh
yeah, because like last season I think we just did 10 because of my wife's cancer. My wife's cancer and everything.
Oh so, yeah, that is true. We did have a lot of time where we yeah, we couldn't.
But yeah, so it's like this season, like we each picked 10 films.
Yeah.
So this is the like we've done reviews for recent films that like we've been contacted by like PR firms to cover and everything that are not part because we're not doing this. These are more of a spoiler cast type deal. So we've done so far we've covered. This is the 69th spoiler cast like film review.
Okay.
That we've done. So, like, we've covered a lot of films, and the one thing I can say, we've had a couple of good ones this season. Next season, we are only doing
kind of mix it up.
Ones we like.
Okay,
we're just going to talk about the ones that we like. Maybe Nosferatu will be there. Maybe Hard Eyes will be there. Don't know, but...
Terrifier 3.
Oh, yeah, we got to cover Terrifier 3, because we've done the other ones. If what is it, Steamboat, is it called Steamboat Willie? I don't even remember. If that one comes out, you can cover that one too. Is there a Popeye one?
Dude, there's 2 Popeye ones.
Shut the fuck up. That's insane.
If I remember correctly, there's definitely one, but I think there was 2 separate ones. That one or it might have been Steamboat Willie. But there is one for a fact, a horror gore film of Popeye. That's been made, if I'm not mistaken.
I really don't want to see that. I really don't want to see that.
It looks fucking scary.
Yes, I think there's a Bambi one coming out,
or
it might have already come out.
Bambi.
I don't know.
It's all we need to do is murder.
There's so many horror movies coming out at one time. It's so hard to fucking keep track of. But let's get into the plot. The film opens with gorgeous snowy mountain scenery as we're introduced to the group of college friends we're stuck with for the next 90 minutes. Yeah, we got Derek and his girlfriend Jill, Jill's friend Allison, who is going through some shit, brothers Maddie and Todd, and Bree, Maddie's girlfriend. Due to a flipped tractor trailer, think. On the road, State Trooper tells them that they're going to need to take an alternate route that's about 50 miles out of their way just to get to the ski resort that they're trying to get to.
Now, it looks like it's been a terrible snowstorm.
Yeah. Maddie should have gotten the shit smacked out of him by pretty much anyone. As soon as he started talking to the cop, all you have to do is say, yes, sir, and then move along.
Okay. And that's it. Just turn around.
We already know you're not going to listen to him, but you don't need to be a fucking moron and let him know that you're not going to listen to him.
Yeah.
So, and then at the same time, the cop, all he says is like, what was that? I was like, nothing. Why wasn't the cop more aware? Like, I would have had people keeping an eye on him to make sure that they head where they're supposed to head, but he doesn't, so it's whatever. With Allison, did you immediately know what was going on with her? Because I did.
Okay, so when we're watching the movie, we did, but we didn't, and we were more upset at the fact of, like, are you gonna ever fucking confirm shit? Like,
yeah, like, and then it's not till later. It's like we're coming up to the scene where it's like she's really starting to be.
She got raped.
Yeah,
the team raped her.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the entire team did it. But
yeah,
it's
they never actually say it. So
yeah, they pussyfoot around it. I think it's before they even get to the gas station, because we're up to the part where they're gonna stop off at the gas station and shit just gets even worse. I forget who was it. Yeah, she was sitting. I think she was sitting all the way. Yeah, she was sitting all the way in the back. So it was
Dickhead, the driver, girlfriend, Allison.
No, Allison. I think Allison was in the back because Bree was sitting in front of her recording everything. Yeah, and then that's when she was like, "Get that away from me." So the second she like flipped out over a cell phone, I was like, "Oh, she was probably assaulted, and they probably recorded it." Because otherwise she wouldn't like flip out. A group of friends going on this trip, someone's going to be taking photos. It's a normal thing.
Standoffish.
Yeah, because I don't think she's really friends with any of those other people. I think she's only friends with Allison.
And with those other two, from what it sounded like, were involved.
Yeah, and I'll get into it later on why you even fucking brought her on the trip, but we'll continue. Stopping at a gas station along the way, Allison goes to pee, followed by Jill. She asks Jill to wait outside the bathroom. She agrees. At this point, they're making it glaringly obvious that Allison was sexually assaulted. She doesn't like cameras. She doesn't like being alone. She doesn't like being locked in dark places. But Jill gets distracted by a bear carcass in the back of a pickup truck and ends up getting into an argument with the hunter named John, who really doesn't fucking matter until the end of the movie, over how he killed the bear using an inhumane trap. I hate people like Jill. I hate them.
Just go about your business. You don't even live here. And even as a vegan, I could go off and say something to this dude and then ruin my whole fucking day, or he can just shoot me. Yeah. You know? He gets pissed off and shoot me. You're like, just leave.
You can tell people that have, and the hunter even brings it up, who have never had to struggle in their life by the way that they talk down to other people.
Oh yeah.
You don't know what's going on.
The janitor and the CEO. Situation.
Well, why did he hunt the bear? Oh, because of all the shit that they're doing with the woods and all the places that they're building is fucking up their habitat, which means they're coming into town, which means they're attacking fucking people. So what is it going to be? Do we let people be killed by bears, or do we lessen the numbers? Well, you could use a humane trap. You know what? Yes. You go get the bear. You go take care of that. You do your humane thing while it's swiping at your face and taking out your eye. Sure. It's like, shut the fuck up and go away. There's no reason for you don't know these people. You're not interacting with these people. If
you don't live there,
if she got
just don't do it.
Legitimately, it comes down to guy, girl, doesn't matter. In that situation, if she got slapped in the face, it's fucking warranted. Why are you getting in someone's fucking face? I don't give a shit. Just what your beliefs are. Don't force your shit on me. I do not care, and you will get rocked in the face. It's as simple as that. You stay in your lane, I'll stay in my lane. It's very simple.
It's a simple thing.
Like watching her, and then like the boyfriend comes over and he's like, "Hey, just like stop." She's like, "No." It's like, bitch, just shut the fuck up and go away. Just shut the fuck up and go away. Aren't you supposed to be watching your friend, making sure that she's okay taking a pee?
Very broken friend.
Because guess what? She's flipping the fuck out in the bathroom. So, like, I hate characters like that. Inside the gas station, Bree takes a pamphlet detailing the cursed history of the nearby Stroughton Valley Witch Trial historic site. She stole that, right? What? Or was it free? I never fully paid the pamphlet. I don't know if it was like free or something. I have thoughts on this whole thing too, but I think I have some notes towards the end. Todd suggests taking a shortcut down a remote path. Always a stupid thing to do, and after talking them into it, they become lost.
In the snow like that. Like that. If you actually did know where you're going, it's a whole nother situation. He doesn't know where he's going.
Oh no, he 100% lies to them. But I'm trying to think. I was looking at the inside of the truck. I wasn't fully paying attention. Did that truck have 4-wheel drive?
Yeah, that car does. It has locking in front, but it doesn't.
Did they ever turn it on?
Oh, I don't know. I would assume when they were driving in the first place, it was already on, but it doesn't tell you that.
If it's snowing and they're going to a mountain, why don't they have chains for the tires? And...
Well, not a lot of places don't allow that. Yeah. Up here, you're allowed to have studs. Can't have chains.
What's the difference?
Well, studs are small itty-bitty ones that are made into the tire's mold, so it doesn't damage the tire, and it doesn't do a lot of damage to the road. Whereas chains fucking shut the tire. They just rip it. You know that. Where we're from, it's bad roads.
I've never had chains on my tires.
No, we grew up in a place where we never have.
I would fishtail like crazy. But you learn very quick how to come out of a fishtail. The first time you do it at 17 years old, you're like, all right, I have to figure out how to do this. What is it? Hunter John parks out in the middle of the woods, grabs his rifle, and heads off into the wilderness. Allison is just staring out the window, noticing a crow crawling, beginning to act weird. She accuses Bree of saying something snarky to her. She didn't say anything. So now Allison is full on acting weird. Hunter John kills a wolf, and while walking back to the truck with said wolf, spots the sign that the college friends knocked over. College friends start checking their phones for service to look up a map. Nobody has service except Jill, but loses it.
Once again, not trespassing would have saved life.
Yep. Allison is asleep, and when Jill goes to wake her up, she freaks out, hitting Jill in the face. Allison should not be here.
No, she doesn't look like she wants to be there.
Her trauma has her so severely fucked up where she can be sleep. In therapy, not on a ski trip with people she doesn't fucking know, who we find out later, some of them were involved in that. Yeah. Now, I don't know if she knows that they were there. Some people would say, that's awfully presumptuous of you, Sean. How do you know they aren't all friends? Well, if we use some common sense, she was clearly assaulted while passed out, or the act of someone simply touching her while not fully conscious wouldn't cause her to, get violent and lash out. She flipped out on Bree when she was taking photos and videos of everyone for the trip, just so they have memories of the ski trip. So most likely she was recorded during the assault. She didn't
like that. Yeah. There's signs. There's a lot of signs.
When she went to pee, she didn't want her friend to be in there with her, but she wanted her close by and to keep talking to her. When she couldn't get out, she has a meltdown. However, when she was trying to get out, if you notice, she never tries turning the knob. I was so confused by that. She's just holding it.
She's just holding it and banging.
Yeah. But you gotta, because then Jill comes over and just turns the knob and opens it. And it's like, what? God damn it.
Well, maybe in her psychosis, she couldn't think of doing that.
But most importantly, the only one that seems to know anything about the incident is Jill. If they were all friends, this should have been a, hey, let's take care of her right now kind of a trip. Yeah. And it's definitely not that kind of trip. So still lost, Derek is distracted by Philip touching and whispering into Jill's ear and crashes the truck into a snowbank. His concerns are completely warranted because Philip and Jill are fucking behind his back.
Yeah. Of course. I feel like the movie tries to pack on giant traumatic shit.
Yeah, it's trying to add a lot, and it really doesn't need to. But they got to get those emotions.
All in all, this is still not bad at this point.
No.
To be honest, it's not. It's just slow.
Yeah.
I think the actors were good.
Yeah, no, the actors were really good. It's just
one of the brothers was another brother, played a brother of another main character on a show called The In-Between.
Does The In-Between sound familiar?
It was on Netflix. There's
what was that show
outbreak. About? Everybody that's over 20, once they hit 23 or something, they die.
What?
And then they had to put a dome over it. This is before the show, The Dome.
Yeah. It sounds super familiar. I think I might have started to see it, but
it's still on it.
Here's something I don't understand. And I've experienced this a lot, but I'll never understand, why do people in friend groups fuck each other?
Oh, fuck?
I've
Like everybody that was in my group excluding me?
Yeah. Like
they all just did all, yeah.
I had friends where it's like,
always a bad idea.
I've dated girls and we're all in this big like friend group, and then find out like a week later she's dating a friend, like a mutual friend in the group, and I'm like, I don't get that. And I've had,
like, why would you do that?
I've had friends' ex-girlfriends hit on me and try to sleep with me, and I'm like, no,
you've already. I don't need to be his
like,
Eskimo brother.
I do not fuck friends in a friend group. Like, it's a hard pass. Like, no, this is the type of shit that's happening here. They're dating now. Granted, fucking Derek is a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. We all understand that. He was in the room when his girlfriend's friend is being like sexually assaulted by his entire college football team. He doesn't do a goddamn thing. It's like, you're a piece of shit. Like, you say you love your girlfriend, but you're too much of a piece of shit to stop other people from being pieces of shit. Specifically, you know, really to like generally to anyone, but specifically
let alone like
to your girlfriend's best friend. That doesn't make any fucking sense. But you know how like Derek is always the name of like people I hate.
In
scripts that I write and everything, and it's like, of course, boom, it's a fucking Derek, and he's a piece of shit. So then, you know, Philip's all like sliding in there, and she's like, yeah, and I'll never understand. Like, don't cheat, break up.
It's just easier not to.
Just break up. Like, if you're that unhappy, just break up. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're a piece of shit. Like, how could you trust the person that you're with because they're a cheater? So it's
a tough situation, but there's no point. Just fucking leave.
I feel like this isn't. Honestly, I really don't think this is a scene or like a storyline that was needed at all. They put it in like regardless. So it's like you have
the whole
like
entire affair.
Yeah, like
we didn't need it. You could have just went with the whole sister was sexually assaulted by the football team.
Yeah, you could have just left it at that, but it's because it ends up being like too much, and then it's like, well, how does she know who's involved, and does she know who's involved? And then there's the whole thing like, is it actually witchcraft, or is it just like, I don't know, we'll call it snow psychosis, you know, from being isolated, but they're only isolated for like 3 hours. And shit hits the fan, so it's like, I don't really know if that would be it.
It's almost like a Stockholm. It's almost like not Stockholm.
It's like one of those blizzard whiteout fucking whatevers. Yeah, I was trying to think. I couldn't figure it out, but it's like, that's what it feels like. I'll probably put up like on the video like what we're trying to think of. But it's like, not enough time has passed for that shit to happen. So it's like, is it?
Yeah, they all start. They go south. And then that's the whole thing. Was she possessed beforehand? So did all of their dicks combined made one witch? Like, I'm not really understanding who. So the woods did it? Like, I know I'm saying that, but it still doesn't. It's a pretty good movie still.
Why did you bring her on the trip?
Yeah,
she shouldn't
I feel like
here.
She was like, I wanted her to come on the trip so she doesn't have to be alone.
Come on, I can help her get over it.
She was there that did it.
Yeah, like, I don't know, man. It's just certain things. It's kind of like they were trying to throw a little bit too much shit in there, where I feel like if spooky shit was just happening, I'll get into it later. During all the commotion, Allison briefly disappears before being found standing entranced over a mutilated deer carcass. While looking for Allison, Philip sneaks up on Jill and tries to make out with her. This is not the time for that, dude. They bring Allison back to the truck, and they put her in the driver's seat and tell her to give it gas as they try to like push the car out of the snow. Allison inexplicably decides to try to run over Derek. So it's like, kind of like, does she know that he was in the room? But the vehicle loses control.
I feel like
during that the wheel pops. Yeah, and now everyone is stuck in the forest.
Stuck in the forest, and I think she's possessed and gonna kill everybody.
Yeah, because it's like, I feel like this would be like a possession thing.
It's what it feels like you know, an Evil Dead type of situation.
But then you're also given the information that, like, a little bit like coming up, that Derek and possibly Philip, I don't know if Philip was actually in there, but Derek definitely was.
That's what Derek says, because Derek says that he was there.
But Derek's also trying to like pass the buck, so that his girlfriend's like, you can't believe anything he says. So it's like, you don't really know if Philip was there, but you definitely know that Derek was there.
Oh,
so it's like, does she know that Derek is there, and that was really just her trying to run him over, or was it a witch? You know? So it's like, I don't know.
Getting revenge for them doing that.
Derek discovers Jill and Philip are having an affair, and Derek volunteers Philip to go with him to see if they can get a signal on the phone. Derek
I don't know why you would think you would have any service out there.
Well, come on, you just walk to the top of the
I
hill
go
and you
out
get
there.
it.
I go out there wanting to not have the service, you know? Like,
Yeah.
that's the point.
And this is a fairly recent film too, so they could have just downloaded the map on their phone and it would have been there
ahead of time.
Yeah, you wouldn't need mobile service. It would just work off your own GPS with the maps. But whatever. Yeah, so at this point, Derek is confronting Philip about him and Jill, and Derek comes out swinging for the racist fences. Philip, meanwhile, accuses Derek of being in the room and not stopping his teammates from sexually assaulting Allison, but they're not that far from the truck, and they are very fucking loud.
Yeah.
Like, they're yelling, and that shit, like, sound travels.
Carries. And it carries more in the winter time. There's nothing to stop it.
It was just like it was so fucking good. Like as they're yelling, I'm like, oh, they probably got far enough away. And then it pans over Derek's shoulder, and you can see the truck probably like 20 feet away. And I'm like,
yeah,
nobody hears them fucking arguing about
having this whole conversation.
Oh, it's great.
He wasn't even that far, and he's like, I'm gonna put my tongue down your throat. Like, what the fuck? Calm down.
It's like you're looking, everyone is looking. At some point, people are gonna cross. Why are you trying to kiss her in the middle of the fucking woods with her boyfriend right fucking there? Why are you trying to pressure her to break up with her boyfriend on a fucking ski trip where he's the driver?
And we're on the verge of dying.
It's so fucking dumb. Dude does not have his priorities in check. Todd and Allison later volunteer to hike out to find help. Derek, Jill, Philip, Maddie, and Bree stay in the vehicle and try to keep warm as night falls. Scared of the thumping outside, which is weird because they never really talk about what that thumping was.
I didn't hear anything. No, Derek said something. He's like, do you hear that? But I don't hear anything.
It sounds like a thump, 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 like something's directly outside, and that's when they were all like, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet, and everything. And I was like, are we not gonna find out what that's about? Is that not gonna be like that's where it's like, I wish they went more in on the witchcraft aspect, because if there was something in like the lore of thumping and them talking about it's like 3 thumps and then 2 thumps and then 3 thumps, there's a specific rhythm, and then they're hearing it and it's like freaking them the fuck out. I feel like that would have made more sense, but it's kind of just like, oh hey, there's witches in these woods, okay, and then they just go off and it's like, you're trying to fuck my girlfriend. I was assaulted. I'm here with my boyfriend. I don't know any of these people.
There's a lot of complications involved in it.
So yeah, I do feel like they should have gone more in on the witchcraft aspect, but I also don't know how much it cost to make this. Scared of the sound of thumping outside the truck, they panic and lock all the doors, but Bree spots something walking towards the truck through the windshield. It's Allison. She's staggering back to the SUV. Allison. There's blood on her face.
On her face right here, like splatter marks.
And she's holding a clump of hair in her hand.
Yeah, and it doesn't know if it's the same color as hers, so we don't really know. And it could be the same color as a wolf. You don't know.
Yeah, because like I'm trying to think. Who'd she go with? She went with
Todd, the brother.
Did he have long hair? I thought he had short hair.
He had a hat on. If Mom.
Yeah. So I don't know, because it's a lot of hair, and I don't know. Whatever. Unresponsive, they get her into the truck and they try to clean her up and see what happened. Allison begins to have seizures, and they search her bag for meds. Sure. They find some pills and give them to her. When seemingly possessed, Allison bites Bree's fingers.
Nearly the fuck off.
Bree recoils back and punctures her neck on a ski pole.
Right there.
Why the fuck was that pole up like that?
You don't notice it. Where did it come from?
Why isn't it up on the roof? On the bottom of all the bags,
laying down.
It doesn't. Yeah. Why is it like? And then I'm just thinking, I'm like, honestly, these are probably the type of people that put knives in a dishwasher pointy side up. You know, which I always yelled at Jackie for doing that. Whenever she loads the dishwasher, she just like dumps everything in, and I'm like, everything has a place. That's how these things are designed, and you should be putting the knives face down. She's like, yeah, but then like all the stuff accumulates at the bottom. And I was like, yes, but if they're pointing up and you go to do anything, you're putting your hands directly into sharp shit. Like, that's not what you do. So she always makes fun of me for like the weird like quirks I have about like how to load a dishwasher, even though I have years of experience doing it from working in delis and shit like that, like, and fixing them.
It's Tetris.
And
basically what it is Tetris.
My specific way of like folding clothes and hanging them on hangers because like
I do the military pack. I just roll them into a thing and then snap.
Well, but then you put them in a drawer, right?
Yeah,
because that's what I do. But when things are hung up, like you fold pants and hang them. She doesn't do that. She just like grabs it and kind of like shoves it in the middle and then just hangs it. So it's like everything in her closet is kind of like this. And I'm like, that's not how you do that. So she's always making fun of me about that at work with her coworkers. And then her coworker came back and was like, hey, so I fucked up. She's like, what'd you do? She's like, my wife was put dishes in the dishwasher, knives up, and I went to go add something else to it, not knowing she had them knives up, and he sliced his hand up.
Hell yeah.
It's why you put the knives down.
It's bound to happen.
You put the knives face down, like pointy side down, and you put this pointy ass ski poles on the floor, bags on top, or on the roof. You don't just have it all willy-nilly where if you lean back, it's like, oh, well, I just impaled myself.
Watch this poking prod.
Freaking out about the pole that's like trying to poke through her neck and her mangle fingers. We can't forget about the mangle fingers because her fingers look fucking
her
disgusting.
Fingers are all fucked up. Well, she pulls it out of her mouth all hard and shit.
Yeah, she leans forward, causing severe blood loss, and eventually passes out. She's not dead, which is very fucking weird because she's just like bleeding from the neck.
She could have been
and
dead.
The fingers.
Yeah,
like she's bleeding from like 2 separate areas and freaking out. I feel like she would have, but whatever. At this point, Maddie decides to set out alone to look for his brother, which is really fucking stupid, but apparently he doesn't give a shit that his girlfriend was just fucking mangled. He only cares about finding his brother. Tension continues to boil over in the truck, and Derek repeatedly insists on restraining Allison for their safety. That sounds like something that was said during that altercation with all the football. Yeah. Jill tells him that she doesn't feel safe with him in the truck, and maybe he crashed the truck on purpose, which he says she's being
to get
ridiculous.
rid of her?
Yeah. Basically, she's just pulled like an Uno reverse card on him. Now Maddie's walking through the woods. He triggers one of John's animal traps and gets his foot caught. Eventually, he gets free by severing the rest of his leg and crawling through like the snowfall towards a light.
Yeah.
What did he use to?
It looked like the top of an axe.
Where did he get an axe?
It was a little bit further away in the snow.
Oh,
he crawled over to it and he had to like kind of dig it out of the snow.
Oh, okay.
That or it was like some sort of rock, but it looked like the head of an axe.
It's by that light he finds the body of his brother. Crying, he stays with his brother until, I'm assuming, eventually he succumbs to the cold. You hear wolves. I don't think we ever see the wolves. Of course.
Well, you saw the hunter end up getting catching a wolf.
So it's like wolves are around because he's trying to catch them.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. Allison's moaning drives Derek crazy, causing him to flip out and try to throw her out into the cold. But not before Jill gets a dig in at him, asking what happened to him or if he's always been this pathetic. Okay, man. Whatever. Fighting outside the truck. Yeah, that kind of makes you pathetic too. Fighting outside the truck, Jill hears a ringtone in the distance. Derek, Jill, and Philip separately set out to find the dropped cell phone, and this is where Bree regains consciousness
and kills her.
Well, yeah. Well, no, Allison. Bree doesn't kill her. Allison kills her. Bree wakes up because Allison is banging her head against the window of the truck, and when Bree wakes up, she tries to get a weapon to protect herself, but Allison just like lunges at her, killing her. Jill rushes back to the truck with Philip when she hears Bree scream. Derek ultimately finds the phone, and Jill can't get into the truck. So because they can't get in, Philip says that Derek has the key, so he'll go find Derek to get the keys. Allison taunts Derek in the woods and startles him, so he's all on edge, and when he hears someone walking around,
like be on edge
he stabs Philip in the neck with the screwdriver. Do you think it was a Phillips head screwdriver? You think that's what it was?
Phil got screwed by a Phillips. Oh.
Yeah. Back at the truck, Joe just breaks a window to get in and finds Bree dead. And Derek returns to the SUV.
Dun, dun, dun.
Derek starts falling unconscious and ultimately dies from the exposure. Not before admitting that he was there when he was there when the team assaulted Allison.
Yeah. It definitely did happen.
The hunter finds Matt and Todd's bodies, removes the leg from the bear trap, and continues on. He's basically trying to cover his tracks.
Oh yeah,
because his trap was the cause of these kids dying,
and they're illegal. It's like a double fuck up.
Jill goes into the forest to look for help and finds Philip's body. Still looking for help. Allison suddenly confronts her. Although Allison is pleading for her life and to listen and insisting that nothing is wrong with her, Jill eventually stabs Allison with the ski pole. At gunpoint, John demands that Jill move away from Allison's dead body. A state trooper takes Jill away from the crime scene at daybreak, where Jill claims that her friend was possessed.
Possessed. She had a witch. They were doing bad things.
And that is the end of Witches in the Woods. A bunch of people that had nothing to do with her assault are dead, but the football team assailants live to do it another day. What are your final thoughts on Witches in the Woods?
Like I said, I don't think it was a bad movie. I really don't. I just think the script needed better writing, but the actors were good. The story was okay. I felt like we had two different stories, but it happens, you know. Out of all the movies we've been watching, this is definitely one that was very tolerable. It was a nice light watch.
Yeah, it's, you know, it's one of those, like, because I watched it twice. And I think you watched it twice too.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday and today.
You know, it's a 90-minute movie. It didn't feel like a 90-minute movie.
It felt longer.
For me, it felt shorter, even though a lot of nothing happened. Because it was like, it felt like while I was watching. Well, you also have ADHD, so
that would be the reason why it felt longer.
Yeah, because it's like, it felt like, oh, they're driving. It's like, oh, okay, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, they got stuck. Ah, they're separating. Ah, they're coming back. Ah, people are dead. The end.
Yeah.
And it's like, huh, all right. I guess that's it. I like this film. Yeah. I feel like it was shot well. It was acted well. The location was great, even though they didn't really use it a whole lot. It was really good at giving
really
that.
Well too.
Yeah. It especially when they would do like the higher shots, it really gave that feeling of isolation. What I didn't like was how quickly everyone just agreed that it was a witch.
Yes,
Why?
like yeah, they made it. Oh yeah, it's like some sort of like paranormal. These are very normal things that are happening. You could definitely do them without any active, whatever the fuck.
I could say that it had nothing to do with witchcraft and that it was all just paranoia from like exposure, but Allison crazily tried to bite off a stranger's finger for no reason and then killed her.
The reason is she's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so it could be her medicine. But it's like the only people I could see if like this isn't actually witchcraft. There was never anything wrong with her. She was just crazy and trying to get revenge. Then the only people that should have been involved. But then the only people,
two dudes.
Just those two dudes. Like there's no reason for Todd to die, which that could just be like a bear trap got him. Like there's no guarantee like she did that. It could just be a bear trap. It's like there's no reason for her to go after Bree. Bree has absolutely nothing to do with any of this.
Yeah, she was just someone there with one of the dudes.
I feel like, and it's always hindsight's 2020, because like we watched the film and we're like, all right, this is where like things could have changed. But that's part of a review, and that's part of where when you write a script, you want other people to read it to see if they can find these things. I feel like had Todd been telling them the story of the area, because he's supposed to be the one that knows this area, right? So if he was telling the story, this like driving up until the what's it called?
The cabin?
No, the state trooper, right? Like while they're driving up, he's like, oh, you know, this area, it has all the stuff, blah, 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 right? He's telling them the legend of the witch, and maybe like Bree and Jill are like, shut the fuck up. That's fake. You're just trying to scare us, blah, blah, blah. And then we get to the gas station and Bree finds the pamphlet that has more information, and then we're getting more of them like driving with her talking more about the witch, and like people say when like this happens and when this happens it's the witch and this and stuff. And it's like while that's going on, people are preoccupied, and then you can throw in the Philip and Jill thing where Derek sees it and crashes the truck and shit.
Yeah, that would make sense.
That would lead better into it, instead it's just people talking and like not really doing anything, and then it's like crash, and it's like it just doesn't make sense. Because then it's like having more information about what possibly causes the witch to show up, or things that happen just before the witch shows up and everything.
What triggers it?
Then you can like have that like
thing,
like the thumping. If you heard the like with the thumping outside, and they're like that freaks them the fuck out, because it's like, oh, that's the witch. That's the sound people hear, and then shit starts to happen. So that when Bree is injured in the car, and Allison is in there with her, have her hitting her head against the window at that same beat, you know,
went outside,
and then it's like, oh, this, it's like that could have like, because now it's just like at the end she's just like, oh yeah, no, I'm perfectly fine. What's going on? I have no idea what's going on. Oh, it's like,
no bullshit.
What?
Yeah,
so
bullshit.
Either she was faking it the whole time and there was never a witch and she was just fucking killing everyone and she's crazy, or there was a witch and the witch killed everyone but these two girls, and then was like, okay, you know, we'll just let them, like, it just, for me, that's the only area where it starts to fall apart. But all in all, like, this is definitely like I don't know, 3, 4 out of 5.
It's free.
Yeah. Watch it.
It's free. By all means, watch it. You definitely can put it on and like be on your phone and still kind of keep up.
Yeah, there's a lot of it where like nothing happens, and then it's like you can look up and be like, oh, this is happening, and it's like, all right, you're still in it. I'm sure Allison's gonna be doing something fucking weird because she shouldn't be around any of these people. She should be in fucking therapy, fucking figuring this shit out
from this.
What? That's the other thing. Like, why would you bring her? You don't know that Philip and Derek know about her assault.
Yeah.
It's just,
and on top of that, it's traumatic for her to fucking be next to these people.
Like, she was sexually assaulted by an entire football team at this college. Why do you have her around a bunch of people she doesn't fucking know?
Yeah,
it doesn't make any.
She's already feeling vulnerable and very, very fucking,
it's like
unsecure.
It's why, if anything, that storyline should have just been scrapped.
Yeah. Like I said, it was like an added second story.
It's like, I'm sorry, but like, if you were sexual assaulted and we had like a trip planned, I'm gonna be like, hey man,
canceled it.
How about we don't? You don't be like,
catch you next time.
It doesn't matter. Just come on. Just come with us. It's fine. It's fine. Just come.
Like those husbands that would blame her for fucking, oh, now I gotta fucking not go on my fishing trip. It's like, what the fuck? I didn't do this to myself.
What would you give this?
I think a 3.
3, yeah.
Like I would recommend for people to watch.
It might, because 1 is like, don't go see it.
Yeah.
2 is like, if you can find it free somewhere. 3 is like, you should definitely see this free or like cheaply. And then 4 is... 4
I would buy, and 5 is 100%. You have to go.
Yeah, you need to go see this right now.
Yeah, a 3.
Yeah, I can go with that, with a 3. Next week, I have not seen this film. All I saw was a trailer for it while I was trying to figure out, because I couldn't find it anywhere and I was very confused. Okay. It's your pick, Night of the Killer Bears.
Oh god.
It's the one where they said it's like Ted meets Terrifier or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's, from what I've seen in the trailer, it is not like that at all.
Oh.
Yeah. So that will be next week's film. Thank you, everybody, very much for stopping by. We will see all of you next time. And remember, like, subscribe on YouTube. We have the video version, also goes up on Spotify. Yeah, if you have any ideas of movies you'd like us to cover, let us know. It's up on social media. In the link tree we have down there is all of our social medias. I'm also now primarily on Blue Sky, because Zuckerberg is a piece of shit, and
Zuckerberg,
pretty much all of them. So yeah, I'm usually on Blue Sky trying to get Anthony over there. I feel like he'd have a lot of fun there. But that is it for today. Thank you everybody very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Laters.